Good news! Good news, everybody! It's time for another friendly sealed Ixalan match. This will be make the ninth in the league. So far I am sitting on 5-3. So hopefully we can make this 6-3. This is a hand that I'm definitely going to have to mulligan. It doesn't seem like something I can easily get out of with only one land, which is tough. And this one is better. Hopefully I can get a swamp early on. And I'll actually keep this on top of the library just to make sure that I can play the fleet captain. It's nice to have the slash of talons. And if he plays anything nice, I can always take it out with the Vanquish the Weak. It'd also be nice to see one of the other pirates coming up. So he's willing to take the damage, I believe, unless he's got a way of creating two little tokens. Though there's a good chance that he just takes it out with a slash. Nope. Cool. I don't really feel like using slash on the Blight Keeper just because it's not really strong enough. It's a pretty weak card. And he holds up play, so I'm going to take out his Sky March. There's probably other better targets for it, but this allowed me to swing in for a little bit more damage. And the Sky March can definitely get annoying. Should know I've got a few of them in this deck. It's definitely a little annoying, especially because I don't have enough mana for my own call to the feast. I don't really feel like sending in my little guys against him. And Slash of Talons, even if he blocks with 2, then the fleet captain will go down. So I think I'm just going to pass through. I really wouldn't mind getting 2 mana coming up, because then I could play the call, and then the deacon for my tokens. The flyer is seriously annoying, so I'm just going to lock that down. I would have preferred playing the call, but preventing the flying damage I think was a little bit more important. The lifelink is definitely annoying, so I want to get some sort of bodies in soon. And see, that would have been a better target for the Vanquish the Weak. But this flyer would have been doing some damage to me as well. Looks like he's going to take out my captain. Nope. That makes more sense, because he's able to swing more, deal more damage. Which sucks. But I do have a few ways of at least partially recovering from this. Bishop is nice in his own right. So we'll see what we get next turn. It'll be fun to play the Anointed Beacon into the bishop. I'm sad that my deck is just a little too slow right now. And not drawing anything to help isn't making it easier right now. That was dumb to waste it with the Deacon and the Bloodstained coming up. Makes sense that he would just keep dumping his little zombie tokens at us. Which definitely makes the bishop a little bit weaker. But that'll happen sometimes. I wouldn't mind seeing another Vanquish the Weak, just to take out his Ariosaur. Let's see if we can slowly whittle things down. Makes sense that he would try to prevent the lifelink for it, which is good for us. Just that way we get a little bit more damage with that. Got the mana up to kill the Blight Keeper in case he tries to put anything on that. And next turn I might swing in, or he's just gonna kill us with his flyer. He's actually probably gonna block and sacrifice next turn. Or he just taps that out. That's why I didn't want to tap it down. So just had too slow of a hand. We got kind of mana blocked for a little while, so we lost our tempo. So hopefully we can do a little bit better this time. I only saw the one enchantment, so I'm not sure if it's worth bringing in Demystify. And nothing else is really great for us here. I think it's just going to come down to hopefully having a better hand and not having to mulligan in the beginning. So this is a little bit better of a hand. It's nice to have the Sky Blade Legion, or of the Legion, just to put a road blocker up. And then the Anointed Deacon with that, turns it into a 3/3 flyer, which is pretty cool. So hopefully we'll get some solid use out of that. Probably gonna hold on to this in case he plays a bunch of flyers, but we can see what he drops this turn. So I think I'm just gonna go on the defensive. Actually, I'll swing in with the knave and see if he wants to trade. I can still block if he tries to attack in, and then if he tries to throw up a combat trick, I can do Vanquish the Weak. I'm assuming he's just bluffing and getting in for 2. Yep. And let's see what he plays here. His own knave. So now he might be dropping the Aerosaur. Oh, he's just going to kill off that, which makes sense. The cost for the Ruthless Knave is just always a little too much that I don't have that floating around. But let's take out his knave. I'm assuming he might have Slash of the Talons? Nope. I'm just gonna peck in. Hopefully that sticks. Of course he plays Binding on me. And he swings in for 5, which is painful. So I'm just going to hold back here. At least I can't equip it to something else this turn. And we get rid of his Sky March, which is nice. He's just going to toss it on something else next turn, which isn't cool. So I think just to put some pressure on, I'm going to swing in with my own. Good chance he puts it on his flyer. Or he just takes that out. It'd be fun to get the Boneyard Parlay and 1 more mana. Assuming, of course, that I can survive that long. So there's the 1 mana. It would be nicer to save a Slash of Talons for this little dude, and so that way I could swing in with my Lifelinkers. But I'm just going to have to pop it on his Blight Keeper. And next turn, depending on what I get, I'm just going to have to hold. Well, we can get back our Deathless Ancient, which is cool. Silly bit of flavor between all of those. And if he swings in next turn, I can use the Deathless Ancient to kill it out, and tap all my vampires to refresh all the dudes, which is fun. And I've got enough mana that if I get the Boneyard, I can get back quite a few dudes. That could be fun. Of course, all my vampires are tapped right now. Yep. That was gonna have to happen. And he was smart. I want to get back the Deathless, so I'm going to hold back, let him swing in, tap, bring it back. I'm assuming he has a combat trick, otherwise that's not a great trade for him. Though he might just be dumping his 2/2. Yep, to get something else on the board. To equip it, make it a 3/4. probably be wrongfully aggressive here, but maybe it'll help in the end. Yep, so now he's gonna swing in, switch the blade over, or not. So depending on what he draws, it looks like with an Alpha Strike, I could win it. I'd really like to see my other Blood March. It is good to see Call to the Feast, so that way I can bring back anything that I might need. This is risky, but I'm able to pull it out for the win. Cool. So it's 1 and 1. I think that worked better once I was able to do things. I still don't see the reason to put in Demystify to get rid of the removal there. And I just don't have any other pump spells or anything. This could be fun against some of his removal, but I don't think we have quite enough, and it's not like we have treasure or anything to help us out with it. So I think we're just going to play like we've been playing. This is not a great hand. The Dowsing Dagger is nice to see, but it's a little bit slow. Not like his deck is speedy either, and the Dowsing Dagger and the Inspiring Cleric will be pretty big, which is cool. And now I've got the choice of, do I hold up play just to get rid of the Bishop's Soldier, or do I play the Dowsing Dagger? And I think I'm gonna hold up and play Slash of the Talons. There's a good chance he has a pump spell because he's got a few of those. But I'd rather get rid of that sooner than later. The Captain is nice, but I can't get going with Pirates too quick. It's only on turn 5, so I might play the Cleric, play the Captain and the Dowsing Dagger next turn. And then depending on what he has, play the Ruin Raider and equip the Dowsing Dagger on the Captain. Just because he has flyers, I would definitely like to see a few of my own. A Sky March would be nice soon. Or even the Deathless Ancient if I get some more mana coming up. So he's cracking in with the Inspiring Cleric, holding back the Sky Blade, which means that, and he's got all of his mana held up, which means that I'm assuming he has a combat trick or something for the Fleet Captain. So I'm going to play the Deacon. Give my Cleric +2/+0. Crack in with that to see if it gets rid of some of the plants or something else. It actually looks like he might be holding back for Vanquisher of the Week on that, which makes total sense. He was definitely waiting to play that if I was going to equip the Dowsing Dagger on the Phalim Fleet Captain. But it's fun to still have that up because I've got the Pious Interdiction and the Ruin Raider, and I've only seen the Vanquish and the Ixalan's Binding from him. So I think we might be able to do some work against him. And next turn we can equip and play the Raider, depending on the blocks that he chooses. It might also be good to put the Dowsing Dagger on the Anointed Deacon instead. Just that way I can crack in with a 7/4? Which would be pretty hard for him to deal with. I like seeing the Deathless Ancient. I just need one more mana to get it. That plus the Dowsing Dagger will be really tough, but it also means that my creatures, my vampires, are far more important than they were. And there is the second Vanquish the Week, which is painful. So I'm just going to not equip that, play the Ruin Raider, and pass the turn. There's his Ariosaur, which is good to see. But it's definitely not going to stick around. I'm tempted to play the Deathless Ancient to hold him back, and then next turn I can play... Well... No. More Pious. I'm gonna do this now, because he can still take this out, but I get rid of his dude. Well, yeah, let's... He's probably gonna block it. Which is fine. Maybe that was the wrong move, maybe that was too aggressive. That's a little annoying. He's definitely going to swing in with his flyer. I can post up with the Deathless Ancient. And then we'll have to see how aggressive we want to be. Just because until I get the Dowsing Dagger on the fleet, I won't be able to block too much of his stuff. And I do have to be careful to make sure that the Deathless Ancient, if it does block, it doesn't get killed by any of his things. What I wouldn't mind seeing soon is the Boneyard Parlay. Just because I think that would be pretty strong for us. And let's hear here. If I attack in, his creatures die, and I can double equip. It does mean that he gets in for 3. I'm definitely not going to flip it. But I will do that just to make sure that I've got a little extra beef for the defense. I do worry about Ixalan's binding or something. And he will swing in for 5 himself. Settle the wreckage. Nope. That's painful. I would like to see my own call to the feast so I can get my Deathless Ancient back. He very well could have a combat trick here, but I think he was just trying to get in for some damage. And he's got his own, which is going to be really hard. To deal with. I might have just opened him up to let me block his vampires, but unless we draw something other than land, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do here. He probably has the vampire jump spell that gives it first strike. Yeah, he wins. There wasn't anything I could do. That's really annoying. That I just kept drawing blank, as I have a lot in this. So overall, I went 5-4, which is not great. And that means that I didn't quite get enough to play again for free. But that is game 9, so thank you all for watching, and I look forward to posting more videos for you guys in the future. I'm not sure if it's going to be